So I'm not really a Mustang dude exactly. I know that it looks a little bit like I am one, but I'm kind of more like a travel dude. And I used to do like what's called overlanding now. We didn't used to call that. We used to just call it car camping. But you know, we used to take off-road vehicles and go out in the wilderness. And instead of the focus of it being like just bashing them up against the rocks, the focus was to go explore and you know, we would just enjoy ourselves next to a quiet creek and have a couple beers and whatever. And that is what overlanding is now, but we didn't, that word didn't really get used that way back then. So as more and more stuff started getting closed down, and as I moved to a place where like it just there's not as much open land as there is in Arizona here, I decided to go ahead and just pivot. I'm going to start enjoying on-road travel instead of off-road travel. And so I decided to go ahead and copy my wife. That's her Mustang back there, the mineral gray New Edge. I decided to go ahead and copy her and get myself a Mustang, and then for some reason I got two Mustangs. I'm not really sure how that worked out. Anyway, you didn't click to hear my life story. We're going to talk about seats today. So in a video that I just did, I showed off how the cheapest seats available fit in an SN95 Mustang, and they're not too bad. They're not my jam personally. They don't look the part, I don't think, and they're not really like. I really like this car a lot, and I want it to be kind of my car for a long period of time into the future. And so I kind of, you know, I got them to get over a hump, and then I kind of realized they're just not going to work out the way I like them to. So you've got the cheapest option of buying cheap racing seats. You've got the option of going to a local upholsterer in your city and paying them money to upholster your seats, which is always a great idea. It keeps the money local, and they can make them look exactly how you want. If you want to add some flair, like some different fabric or something, they can do that. So that's always a great option. And then the next option above that is kind of stratospheric. Like if you want seats that are going to just bolt into your car, into your Mustang with the brackets and everything, you can get like from Corbeau and from a couple other different companies. They make seats that also go onto special brackets that they sell for sliding the seat forward and backward and that kind of stuff. And you're looking at $1,200 to $1,500 a pair on kind of the low end, all the way up to like $5,000 a pair for like nice leather TMIs and stuff like that. And those are great options if you have the scratch, but if you're kind of in between that where you don't want the cheapest possible seats because you know, they come with compromises, and you're not playing ball in like that $5,000 or even $1,500 tax bracket. I get that. I'm not there either. And so, you know, if you want to kind of get something that's in between that, it's a little sparse. And then you got to bust out the angle grinder and the bandsaw and, you know, start hacking stuff together and all that stuff. And not all of us can do that as a luxury. You don't always have room for tools. You don't always have the skills, you know, which is fine. There's no shame in that. So what do you do? Like, why did you click on this video in the first place? Well, what if I told you that there were ready to go seats that you can order for less than $1,000 that bolt directly to your seat bases and fit perfectly into an SN95 or New Edge Mustang? Interested? Let's go check them out. So my necessary disclosure is on these that I did pay money for them. I did not buy them brand new. They are used. They didn't cost me all that much. Please forgive the computer that's hanging out down there. There is some ongoing work going on in this car, but not a bad look, don't you think? As you can see, it's a nice fit in there. The bolsters aren't super big and fat. Now, I'm not doing like actual track stuff, so there's enough bolster here, but it's not like some pointy thing that I'm just going to wear out by sitting in the car and getting in and out every time. As far as the seat height, they are very slightly higher than the seats that I removed from it, but that might have something to do with the 30-year-old seats being low because they had 30 years of butts in them. But they're still not obnoxiously high. They're probably about where brand new seats would have been. As you can see, they've got a headrest that goes up and down, so you can adjust where that's located. And they do tilt forward for access to the rear seat. Of course, I don't have a back seat. I've got this luggage deck right here, but for access to luggage and whatnot, that's nice. And they do recline to some degree. That's until they hit the seat. So that's as far back as they'll recline. I'm sure they would recline back further if there was nothing behind them, but, well, there's something behind them. But that's not too bad right there if you need to take a quick nap. Well, that was a pretty quick and easy install overall. It took, it was, 8 bolts. Of course, I already had the old seats back out of there. I already had the frames out of there, but they just bolted up. There was no surprises, just popped right in. Regarding the fit, I'm 6'1", 220 pounds. So that's how much ass and gut and all that other stuff I got on me. There's a fair amount of room above me on the top here. Even if I really, like giraffe myself up as hard as I can, I still got a little bit of room above me, even with that. And that's with the seat back in a position that I think is probably where I'm going to be driving. Obviously, once I get on the road, I'll probably fidget with it. This is with the seat as far back as it goes. I think it goes back, I don't know. So I've got the old seats from this car actually in my other SN95, and I think that these go back just like my legs feel a little bit more natural. I think this is slightly better than the factory seats with regards to how far back they go. I think if I could, I would love them to go like another 1/4 inch further back, and there's a possibility I might try to modify something to get them to go literally just another 1/4 inch back. But other than that, I think they're nice, and they're certainly not worse than the factory ones. If anything, they're slightly better than the factory seats in terms of leg room for a taller person. I mean, again, I'm not super tall. I'm 6'1", but even people my height have a hard time with these cars sometimes. So that's some good information to have. With regards to how far they fit in front of my gut, this is my normal gut. I'm not sucking in. This is just kind of where my gut hangs out. And so I got this much room between me and the steering wheel. I've got this much room here in front of my knees. I'm certainly not cramped. I don't think I'll have any trouble operating the clutch or anything like that. Sorry about the janky clamp. I don't really have a secure mounting system there. So let's go ahead and see how the seatbelt works on it. We'll go ahead and just buckle me up like as if I'm going to go somewhere. Yeah, so that feels natural. There's nothing weird about that. It's not difficult to get to. So overall, I'm just going to go ahead and call that a victory. I think this has worked out pretty good. So you probably want to know where you can get a set of these, right? Well, I bought these used, so you can't get them from the same guy I did because he's not going to just have a bunch more of them. I paid full price to him, what he was asking, but I got them for pretty cheap. The place where you can order these from is LMR, somebody you probably already know. These are under their 5.0 Resto brand name that they offer a lot of parts for Fox body Mustangs in, and these are made for Fox bodies. They're made to fit the shape and size of a Fox body, but they fit an SN95 and they fit a new Edge, obviously, because I just did it, and they bolt perfectly in. As of right now, they're selling for $850, and that includes free shipping as of their current way of doing business. Obviously, inflation happens. We all know this, but as of recording this, they're $850 a set, which is considerably less than $1,000. It's more than twice what the very cheapest seats cost, but I think they're more than twice as good too. These are seats I'm going to actually enjoy owning for a long time. They look like they fit the car. You don't have to play around to get them installed. They just go in. So that's the scoop. Now you know where you can get a set like this if you want them. They're also available in gray. Again, I wasn't paid anything to do this. I paid full price what the guy was selling them for. LMR doesn't know that I'm doing this. I'm happy to do business with the LMR if you want to, but these are my honest review on them. So far so good, and the stitching looks great. I expect these things will last a good long time too. So the next thing that I got to do with this car is fix that computer, get the thing going again, and then enjoy putting some miles on them. Thanks for watching.